Come down. The god is dead.
I've always been a fan of Superman, so just alone having the opportunity to literally wear his boots for a number of movies. I hope that I get to play more of Superman in years to come. My life has changed dramatically because of it. It has given me plenty of opportunity for roles, and yeah, it's been one of those characters which changed the entire course of my career, and I'm incredibly grateful for it. And it's also taught me a lot about myself. The nature of the character is so good,
In what
and
way, Henry?
he's so good, the character, and he's so kind, and when you start to compare yourself to him because you're playing him, you start to really look inwards and you say, am I a good person? Can I be a good enough person to play Superman? And if you ever find a whisper in there which is like, hold on a second, maybe not, then you adjust it and you make sure you are a better person. And I think that's all we can do in life, when as we grow and we gain experience, is not beat ourselves for the mistakes we make, but to endeavor to be better people as those mistakes happen.
Welcome back, everyone. It's Charlie. This is going to be my new Justice League Snyder Cut and Henry Cavill's Superman video. It's a nice clip of him talking about the Superman character, his future as Superman, and his hope that he'll continue to play Superman for many, many years to come beyond the contract that he's getting ready to sign right now. He went on in this interview talking a little bit about what's going on with the Snyder Cut, what to expect, as well as what's going on with his time as Superman in the upcoming movies. So we'll break it all down. If you're new to the channel, be sure to subscribe to get all the videos. We'll do a new Amazon giveaway. All you have to do to enter is be a subscriber and let me know what you want them to do with the new Superman Man of Steel movie. The funny thing about this clip with Henry Cavill talking about the Snyder Cut is it is actually Patrick Stewart who asked him to explain the Justice League Snyder Cut to him. Henry, please explain to me, what is this Snyder Cut you're talking about? It's part of an interview series that Variety is doing where actors interview each other, and sometimes they actually have really cool clips. This just happens to be one of them, and relevant because there's so much Justice League Snyder Cut stuff happening the past couple of weeks. He didn't give away any big spoilers or anything like that, but that's him just trying to not give anything away. You have to remember that Henry Cavill was there for all the scenes that they filmed with Superman, so he knows the footage that's going in the Snyder Cut. He just can't talk about it. Really good example is this picture Zack Snyder posted from before they formally made the announcement that they were doing the Snyder Cut. He posted this saying that it was all the reels of footage that he filmed of the movie before he was forced to leave the project, not including all the separate, fully computer-generated scenes that are going to go back in the movie that they have stored on hard drives. Really good example of some major changes would be like the big final battle scene. A lot of that would be fully special effects just because there's so much stuff going on. They changed a lot of the ending for the theatrical cut. I've already talked about that a little bit. What they wound up doing, and you kind of saw this play out through the final couple of trailers they released for it, is that Zack Snyder had already started working on some of the big visual effects scenes, the most difficult, complex ones, and then they would repurpose that footage for the theatrical cut. Like all these scenes here at the end where all the skies are red as opposed to the trailer footage where it's a completely different color. This is what it looked like in Zack Snyder's original version and what it'll look like in the official Snyder Cut. Zack Snyder actually said some funny stuff about the theatrical cut of Justice League. One, he said that he refuses to watch it, but he said that based on what he knows about the theatrical cut, he says people have only seen about 25% of the original footage that he shot, and if the Snyder Cut is supposed to be over 4 hours long, that means that there's over 3.5 hours of never-before-seen Justice League footage that we're going to see next year. HBO Max also clarified that the release date is going to be sometime early to spring next year, so I'm assuming sometime around April or May. But I think we were expecting that anyway because they made the announcement towards the end of May. 3.5 hours, though, is enough for 2 whole movies of never-before-seen Justice League footage. Some of the stuff we've seen, though, in the clips and early trailers that they released in the behind-the-scenes videos. I've already done a couple videos on the major storylines and deleted scenes that we know about, and after the theatrical cut came out, there were some of the deleted scenes that started floating around the internet that you've probably seen. The way they're releasing the Snyder Cut, though, makes it sound like Zack Snyder intends on using almost every last speck of footage that he filmed in any big visual effects scenes that were completely CG that they started on but never got to finish. So when Henry Cavill is explaining the Snyder Cut to Patrick Stewart, he just talks about how he feels like it's important for fans to be able to see the director's original vision as it was intended. As for Henry Cavill saying that he hopes to continue playing Superman for many, many years to come, it sounds like he's going for the Hugh Jackman approach to the Superman character. Hugh Jackman played Wolverine for almost 20 years. Another good example is Robert Downey Jr. playing the Iron Man character. He played it for over 10 years, but he isn't approaching anything close to Hugh Jackman yet, even though we all expect Robert Downey Jr. to come back at some point for a cameo scene, way down the line. Right now, what the Wrap, Deadline, and Variety are reporting is that he's signing a contract to come back for around 3 new crossover movies instead of doing a Superman solo movie like Man of Steel 2. The movies that were reported that he's in talks for are the Flashpoint movie, which we just found out Michael Keaton is coming back for as the 1989 Tim Burton Batman. He's a multiverse Batman, not from the same universe as the Ben Affleck Batman from Justice League. That's how they're explaining it. The Spider-Man into the Spider-Verse approach to the Batman character in the DCEU movies. In fun coincidence, too, Michael Keaton is also in the process of working out a similar multi-movie crossover deal just like Henry Cavill's new Superman contract, where Michael Keaton would appear in multiple upcoming new DC movies as his older version of Batman. I just did a couple videos about Michael Keaton's Batman coming back and how that's going to work and what we know so far and the other movies that he would cross over into, so I'll have links for that at the end of this video and in the description. Because I think we all expected Henry Cavill to come back because he's been Superman so recently, but getting Keaton to come back, that is a deep cut. The Flash movie producers also confirmed that Cyborg would make an appearance in the movie, but we know less about what he's doing other than part of the movie would take place around Star Labs because that's where Cyborg hails from. The next big Superman crossover movie would be the Black Adam movie with The Rock, which is filming later this year. That's supposed to be more of a Justice Society movie, so if Henry Cavill shows up during that, it might just be a smaller cameo scene or a fight scene with Black Adam. Because why would you put Henry Cavill's Superman looking like this, all swole, in a movie with The Rock looking like this, and hype it up if you weren't planning on letting them throw down? Then there's Shazam 2, his cameo scene in that would probably just be a larger version of the Shazam Superman scene with Henry Cavill's face appearing and him actually getting some lines, giving some advice to the Shazamly. They did say that some of the Henry Cavill appearances in future DC movies would be really small and some of them would be bigger. Then there's Aquaman 2. We don't know much about the plot of that movie other than Black Manta is a much bigger villain than he was in the first movie. And if they put Henry Cavill in that movie, it also might be a shorter cameo scene, just because most of that movie would be set underwater, and as cool as it would be to see Superman visit Atlantis, it just feels weird to have him in an Aquaman movie. There's a reason why you don't see them teaming up a ton outside of big Justice League crossover stories in the comics. Then there's Wonder Woman 3, which Patty Jenkins revealed is going to be set during present day, but because that movie probably isn't going to get made for 3 to 4 more years, it's so far off, I think most of the upcoming Superman crossovers are supposed to happen in the next 2 to 3 years. But then if you've forgotten about it, there is the full-blown Darkseid New Gods movie that they're making based on the Tom King run. They haven't said anything about Earth-based characters or Justice League characters appearing in it. Maybe, but too soon to tell. It sounds like most of the movie is going to be set in outer space, and it's mostly about Mr. Miracle and Big Barda trying to protect their family or their relationship from Darkseid in Apocalypse. But the movie's just inspired by the comic book. They're not doing the exact same comic book plot, and there'll be a lot of Jack Kirby deep cuts for the original Fourth World comics. And I've already done a video about what's going on with another Man of Steel Superman movie, for those wondering where Man of Steel 2 is. Right now, they're not making it because the studio doesn't think it can make enough money on one right now. So in order to give Henry Cavill a chance to prove himself, because they don't want to get rid of him yet or anything like that, they're doing the multi-picture crossover deal, and after those crossovers happen, they'll reassess the situation and either pull the trigger on another Superman movie or just recast the character and reboot the franchise like they're doing with the Matt Reeves Batman movies. So if you want Henry Cavill to get another Superman solo movie, the best thing you can do, one, is obviously tell the studio that you want another Superman movie, but also support the movies that Henry Cavill appears in the future. So if he's going to be in Shazam 2, in the Black Adam movie, you have to go see those movies and support that so that the studio realizes that people are excited to see Henry Cavill's Superman appear in movies. When it comes to lobbying the studio to get something that you want from them, the best thing you can do is just vote with your money, because that's the main thing that the studio wants. They want your money. Warner Brothers also just made an animated Man of Tomorrow Superman movie. I just did a trailer video for it yesterday. You can click here to watch that. It's a completely new voice cast, and you can click here for my new Justice League Snyder Cut trailer video and Easter eggs. Thank you so much for watching. Everyone stay safe. I'll see you guys tonight.